you lovely people, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, it's lovely to have you with me today. It really means a lot that you're here. Today we're doing Margaret Miller's 50 prompts for art collage, and I've got myself a wee note in front of me on a post-it note. 5 items, background check before gluing, because last week I did this one and I forgot to check the background before I glued it down, and it would have been better with a bit of something in it like this first week when I put this extra bit behind it. So we've got two very different ones so far, so we'll see where today's goes, because it's not my intention to be very different, it's just that's how they went. Today we've got a form of blank or filled, and I know that in my box I've got, in fact I can see it straight away, this. Do you remember these from the days when you had to take your films and your cameras to the shop, and then after you'd seen all your prints you might thought, oh, I'll have some more of that, and you had to fill in this form. Now it's quite big for this page, and I'm humming and hawing about whether using it, because I'd have to cut it. Maybe I had cut it that way, and then I've got that bit which would be quite useful elsewhere, wouldn't it? Because I like the fact it's not the right way up. Let's just do that. In fact, let's just tear it. Quite like the idea of it being torn. It's been folded that way for a long time. It's nice and sharp, but this way isn't, so that's why it didn't tear straight off. But you can tell it's old paper because it tears very differently from new paper. So let's start with that. It's quite bright. It's not really a focal image. Let's start with that and see where we go. I was saying that actually it'd be quite good now to actually have a photograph, and I do have some old photographs for the focal image, but let's see where we get to before we get, or maybe I should know. You learned from last week that picking the focal image first destroyed you last week, Kirsten. Oh, that would be quite good. I quite like those kind of, oh, I like that. I've had this for donkey's years as well. Isn't it interesting that this, I'm suddenly being able to use these stuff that I've had for a long time. This is a fabulous die cut, and I kind of made it up into this, and I've just never found the right place for it. I quite like that arrow to remain seen. So maybe I'll take this down a bit. Let's see what else we have. I can't believe those two bits picked out straight away. Music doesn't really go with it. Let's see if we've got something else in here. I should have this over here so you can see what I'm doing. Just having a look to see if there's anything that kind of grabs my attention. Actually, you see, no. Anything that grabs my attention or is kind of photography related. I don't think I've got anything photography related. You never know. Oh, see, I kind of like that because it's going to get a different, oh yes. Yes, I like that. That's a bit of stenciling on a bit of braille paper. Oh, see, and that's kind of grabbing me as well. Let's stop there. That's just some printing on a modern bit of paper, but actually this is quite white, so having this maybe on there somehow. think it needs something else. That needs a focal image. Shall we go looking for the let's go looking for the focal image, shall we? Let's see, what have we got in here? A lot of these are quite big, but then I've got this smaller one. Oh, isn't she fabulous? That's too big. These ones are too big. Although that one's maybe not too big. No, it probably is too big actually. I think I'd rather have a person. Oh, how about these in their hats? In the oh, that's fun. That's fun. This is a rather arty one, isn't it? Look at this one through the arch, and that's actually better being portrait for the space. Oh, I like that. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're probably there with that actually. I like that. Let me have a wee look. Yes, yes, I like that. Now I do need to think about which bit, because what I've been doing is I've been taking a bit of the background and putting it behind. Which bit? Oh, I could take this back out, couldn't I, if I can find it? There we go. There, it's there. So I could use this behind there. Yeah, that would work. Now, ask the question, Kirsten. What about the background? The background definitely needs something, because I know I've got this orange and I've got this yellow, but it just feels very washed out, especially down here. So the background definitely needs something. So what shall we do? Shall we stamp or shall we stencil? We could use, if we use this stencil, then no, I don't think I want to use that stencil. I could use don't want to use numbers. Tempted to use numbers, but I don't want to use numbers because we've already got all these numbers. Unless that is, I use one of my big number stencils behind. Oh, or I could use one of my big wooden block letters behind. Let me see. I keep these on a shelf, so I'm not going to, the wee ones are probably too wee. I could put the E in there maybe. The O would fit behind more. I've got this big E that would go in. So you'd get, some of you, unfortunately you wouldn't get this fault in it. But why would I have E? I've got a bigger T. And that wouldn't really show at all, but I could do that upside down. I'm not inclined to use the T. See, the L might be quite, oh, this is my favourite one of them all. This tall, thin S. Shall we put that behind? I think I'm going to put that behind. Now, using this is we put that behind there, and then maybe we'll put, I do have some smaller ones as well. We maybe put a smaller one up the top. So I've got a small X could go up the top there. But I've also got this big N. I've got this lovely N. This lovely kind of, that one could go underneath there, couldn't it? Because then you'd still get this lovely shaping just popping out. Let's do that. So let's put the S there and the N there. I'm not 100% convinced this is the right thing to be doing actually. So why don't I put them on bits, stamp them on bits of paper and then try them behind. Let's take these off there. Move these ones out the way. I have a lot of wooden blocks, and when using wooden blocks you really do need to use a bit of foam underneath what you're stamping. Let's be sensible about this and put it on something that we will want to then use. Like here's an old bit of book page, so I can put that one there and that one there. Right, now we need to think about what colour we might use. I'm tempted to go for good old faithful potter's clay, because potter's clay is in the right ballpark of the colours that are already there. Now this might not take first time. It's much better if I got my inks out, my actual printing inks out, but that would turn this video into a 3-hour video, because not only would I need to dig them out, I then got to do all the prep work for them and everything. But this should work. Right, okay. I kind of like the fact that that's washed out, but let's try again. Clear the decks. So we can have a proper look and make some decisions. It's starting to look very fussy. That's the difficulty, but that's made. And I'm now wondering if I take these two away and just use these. Trouble doing this, I love this now. I've now not got the rest of that, so that can't really be used. I put those in the wrong box as well. That can't really be used in that. But again, it needs something else behind it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some kind of stamping. I still need to tear off this edge bit. So if I tear off this edge bit, that edge bit could go behind there, couldn't it? Yeah, like that. That can go back in there. I've got this nice stamp from Indigo Blue. It's got a kind of vintagey feel to it. I'm just thinking I could put one up there, one down here, maybe one even across the top, one down here. Yeah, let's put this behind it. This is from their Luscious Leaves set, but I only have this one stamp from the set because I got it in their bargain bag one year. And the question now is, do I stick to the kind of oranges or do I go for the green? Let's see, what greens have I got? See, the Olive Grove might be quite good because it's kind of dark. Let's go for Olive Grove. Olive Grove. If you're wondering why I wasn't perturbed about that misprint, I'll show you. Because I've got this crate. And suddenly you don't have a misprint. That's still a wee bit wet, so I don't want to do that while it's still wet. Now this is a real photograph. I'm just wondering whether I want to scan this before using it. Because I do kind of like that fact it's all the way in. I think I'm going to scan this before I use it. So I'm going to go away and scan this. Then I'll come back. This should be dry and I'll come back and stick this all down. I tried to scan this photograph and it refused to be scanned. It's too shiny and too dark, and my scanner, which is scanner photocopier, scanner copier printer, just wasn't dealing with it. Once upon a time I had a different scanner and it used to deal with things like that much easier. Now I'm liking that, but I am tempted, I don't know why, I'm tempted to just shove this up a bit further and put this down here for this one. And maybe I should ring the changes and not always put them up the top page corner. Yeah, I'm liking that. So I'm now going to, so what I have done, see, this is what happens. I then start thinking, don't finish what I was saying. So what I have done is I've taken a photograph of it. If the photograph is okay, once I've had a look at it, I'll make this available as a freebie down below in my Ko-fi shop. You can go and get it. It's a really cute little, there's an old-fashioned deck chair with a sunshade over the top, and there's a wee boy sitting in it. It's a cute little photograph. Right, let's put this, stick this down. And if people are wondering about using old photographs, well, this old photograph is a family photograph and I know exactly who's in that picture. I'm not telling you, but I know exactly who's in that picture. And if I didn't use it in something like this, it wouldn't even be seen. It would stay in a box unseen. So I'm quite happy to use it, because every time I look through this now I will see that photograph and remember that person. That's week 3 done then. A form blank or filled, and it was a blank photography negative ordering for photographs, and that sent me on a kind of photograph, even though I tried not to pick this first, and then picking this then influenced the background, so it worked. I kind of knew I would end up going for a photograph just because this is what that said, but I needed to do the collage, I think, before picking that, because then I feel that if I'd picked this first I might have then been looking for arch stuff for the collage, and actually it's better going for the frame, you know, the square And the S and N, well, these are buttons you'll find on your camera if you have an SNLR camera. Right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little collage. Marguerite, sorry, it's Marguerite, not Margaret. Marguerite Miller's launch video is linked down below, and in the launch video you'll find the link to the sheet with all these tickets on that give you all the prompts. You don't need to put the tickets on the page. I like having a reminder of what the prompt was when I'm doing prompt-based things, so I always kind of try and put that on the page somewhere, but you don't need to use these, or you can use them in a different form. Yeah, see, could have been something totally different. Anyway, stop rattling, Kirsten. Thank you so much for watching. You take care, and we'll see you very soon. Keep crafting. Bye for now.